Hello everybody and welcome back to the Border Corner 2024. It seems a bit daft saying Happy New Year on the 20th of January, but this is the first video I've done this year. So it is a bit like welcome back to the channel, Happy New Year, and hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year. This year I'm just probably going to follow the same sort of format for the videos that I did last year. So the idea is I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm doing in the bird room, what state the birds are in, a bit of news in and around the bird room, and then obviously with conditioning and moving into breeding and so on and so forth. So I'll try and keep across all of that for you. It's been really good, the amount of feedback that I've had at the back end of last year from fanciers that have watched the videos. I'm really sort of blown away really by how much enjoyment people have got out of them. Especially Leo. This is a shout out to Leo. He's at university in Newcastle. He's one of my son's best mates, and actually something that I found really nice was the fact that he really enjoys watching the Border Corner. So cheers Leo, keep going mate, and any chance of us actually persuading you to buy some canaries at some point. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that in the future. Where I am so far this year, all the birds are still split up. So as you know, I've got my hens in the aviary, and in those two L-shaped cages. So they're all my over-year hens. I've got the 4 fifes that I bred last year in there as well. I don't know yet whether they're cocks or hens. They're behaving like they're all hens at the moment. I haven't seen a single one trying to sing or anything. So I think all of the little fifes are hens. So in which case I've got 2 cock birds, a clear yellow and a self green one. So they will be ideal partners for those 4 fife hens from last year. I'm not going to be breeding any more fifes this year. I think with 4 hens, if I do need any feeders, those 4 hens will have to do the job for me. So I've got all my over-year hens in the aviary. And then, as you can see here, I've got all of my hens that I've bred this year. I think I showed you this last year, so apologies if I'm duplicating. So, but these are all the hens that I've bred this year. I haven't really started to do a final sort on them yet as to which ones are going to be set up for my primary breeding birds. So here's my hens, and then these are the 3 cock birds that I've bred this year as well. They're set up in this. I've got them in a 2 double breeders back to back. So there's 3 birds in there, and then here on the bottom I've got my over-year birds. So there's the 3 border cocks in here, including the one on a red ring. He's not going to breed anything anymore, I don't think. But there's the 3 over-year cock birds in here, and then the 2 fifes. And then I've got the wire cages, which you can see behind me actually. The birds are up the other end. But the wire cages here, I've got 2 cock birds that I brought in. And up here in this double breeder, I've got a clear yellow cock bird that I've brought in. One of the things that I want to try and do slightly differently this year is think about lines a little bit more. I think obviously with borders, our primary focus is breeding to type, so that's what I've got the border model. This is what we're trying to breed towards. Standard of our birds need to be hitting this mark. So I've got some birds that are reasonable, and others that are a long way off. So those that are a long way off, I'll probably just move them on. or I'll keep them and use them as feeders as well. I haven't decided yet. But one of the things that I'm going to do different, I've got this clear yellow cock and I've got 2 clear buff hens. So the intention is hopefully to start building a clear line where I've got a lot of control over the birds that are in that. So that's going to be 1 cock and the 2 buff hens. I've actually got another variegated buff hen in the cage here next to me, if you can see. She was a really good mum last year. I think she raised 6 out of the 12 chicks that I raised. That I bred last year. It was her that bred them. So there she is now. So if he's doing okay, I might put the cock to her as well. And then that'll give me a really good spread of the genes from that yellow cock. We've had some really cold weather, haven't we, the last sort of week or so. Big parts of the country have suffered with lots of snow on the ground, ice and minus temperatures. And as you can see from my temperature gauge in the Birdroom, I was down in the -5s in the Birdroom earlier this week. So unfortunately, the temperature was that cold that I lost a couple of birds. I think this, I'm assuming really this is nature's way of survival of the fittest, isn't it? It's nature's way of, taking out those birds that aren't going to be fit enough or good enough to breed in the next year. So I lost a couple of birds as a result of that, which was a shame. But also what was worse, probably about 2 weeks ago, I had a sparrowhawk attack. My wife was sat in the conservatory and she actually heard a bang. And when she looked up, a sparrowhawk had flown into the window of the shed, and it had flown backwards and then tried again and hit the glass, and then flew up and round to the side of the shed and then hit the glass on the other side as well. So at least 3 times, maybe 4 times, this bloody sparrowhawk attacked the shed. And this is the part of the shed where the aviary is. And the birds went into a real fright mode. And they were flapping their wings and flying up and down, and they were in a right state. 2 birds died within about an hour of the attack, which I can only assume is through stress. And then I lost another one the following morning. So it's been really frustrating, given that really cold weather and the sparrowhawk attack. I'm sort of 5 or 6 birds down, so it's disappointing. I'm better positioned this year. Again, it's each year I'm getting better. I've got more birds, and I've got some nice birds that I can be building my own lines on. But to lose, like in a sparrow, if I've lost birds through cold weather, then you sort of think, well, they probably wouldn't have bred this year anyway. But to lose birds through fright from a hawk attack is really, really upsetting. But there we go. It's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, I know there's folks that have their birds in aviaries, and they go to all sorts of different lengths to try and stop the sparrowhawks getting their birds. And I know Ollie on OC Aviary, he's talked about it in the past as well, and some of the lengths that he's gone to try and protect his birds. So it's one of those things that we have to do. But I just never thought I'd be in that situation where they'd actually attack the glass on the shed. It seems crazy, but there we are. Now, the other thing is, obviously, you all know that last year I looked at starting a border canary donation scheme. I had, I think, about 8, maybe 9 people got in touch with me to say that they would really, really like to get some borders and get going with borders. And unfortunately, I haven't got any new fanciers that have come forward that have got birds available. Now, this is down to timing, I think. I've started this scheme, and I've then got some people to come forward and say they'd like birds at the wrong time of year, really. So I feel like I may have set some unfair expectations there, because by the time I did the first announcement of the donation scheme, most fanciers already got rid of their surplus birds then. So we haven't actually really got any birds anywhere that we can offer to donate. And obviously my situation now, having lost some birds through the spout hawk and the cold, as I just mentioned, my numbers are a bit reduced now from where they were. So I'm not even in a position to be able to donate birds. So a massive apology to everybody that got in touch with me to say that they wanted birds. I'm really sorry that I sort of feel I'm letting you down by promising you that we could sort something out and nothing to go back on that. So I hope you all understand. We'll do it again next year, but I'll start talking about it a lot earlier. And then we can get it in the minds of some folk, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few of those fancies. If they're still interested by this time next year, we'll be able to get a few of those guys interested. Sorry, we'll have to be able to get a few of those guys sorted out with some pairs. That said, Cage and Aviary Bird magazine last weekend, it had 2 different adverts for boarders for sale. If anybody is interested in me passing on the details of those sellers, let me know. I've still got the back copy of the magazine, so I can let you know the contact details if you didn't get the Cage and Aviary magazine. But failing that, again, if anybody does have some birds available, I'm sure that, I talked about it being a donation scheme, but if anybody has got some birds available at a lower competitive price, I'm sure that some of those fanciers that are out there that want to get going are going to be more than happy to pay some money. So, let us know on that if you can. So the only other thing to say really is I've started the birds off now on their slow road to conditioning. What I do is give them condition seed once a week. They all have access to greens once a week. At the moment, that's predominantly broccoli because kale's not available, but broccoli is a superfood anyway, isn't it? So it's a good green stuff to give the birds. And then they get their egg food mix once a week as well. So that'll continue all through January. And that'll step up to twice a week for all of those in February. So they've all started their conditioning. You notice the difference, and they're all quiet now. It's sod's law, isn't it? But the cocks are starting to sing a little bit more now, so that's quite nice. Which I'm pleased. I really love. I spend ages in it just listening to them, so that's great. I've got my cameras set up. Some of you might know I've got some of those web cameras. So on those days where I can't come out here, I've got the web cameras. As you can see here, I've got 3 cameras. These are the views that I get of the Birdroom from inside, and with this one in the middle, I can rotate it left and right. So the idea with the one in the middle really is when I've got birds that are paired up, and I want to watch whether they're mating or not, I don't always have to be out here. I can watch the birds from the camera. So that's what that one does. So I'm quite well set really. So yeah, so slow and steady now. The slow start to conditioning, and enjoy the birds singing and enjoy them coming into condition, ready for another breeding season in 2024. So. And by the time I do the next video, I'm hoping to have worked out some of the pairs and worked out some of the birds that I'm going to keep back as reserves. So I might be able to show you those pairs next week. Still, early days, obviously, but I want to know, in my mind, what birds are going, what cocks are going with which hens. So I will get onto that and start sorting that out soon. But I think that's it for now. Just a short video for the first one of the year. Hope you're all okay. I hope your birds are all okay and survive the cold, and I guess you're all starting to condition as well. So good luck with all of that for the next few months as we move towards breeding season again. Keep on birding, and I'll see you in the next one.